Welcome back. We just saw Koget and October Zerg be our first finalists into the round of 16 of BSL12. Now we're be getting into Group A. We're going to see the return of Sziky. And then we've got newcomer Tim. And we've got the return of KenZy. I actually haven't seen him in quite a while. He's, of course, a 2v2 player. There was a show match just a week ago, I think, versus Scan. That was exciting. But we'll see how he can... Yeah, Scan and Bishop, just a crazy 2v2 lineup. But we'll see how he can fare in the 1v1 scenario.
Yeah, KenZy is an old school Gosu. You know, he used to play back in the IC Cup days and was an A- player. He was really strong back then. And he's been strong. I mean, he's always been solid, but this is going to be kind of his first tournament in a while. So, you know, I think most people are kind of just curious to see what his skill level is looking like. And it is going to be an interesting group to test him out in. Sziky, of course, top Zerg player outside of Korea for a while now, is always solid in the BSL. And you've got Tim, who's coming here from Gosu League, and you know, pretty solid and American Protoss. He is going to be looking to do well, and also Ultra rounding up the lineup here for this group. Who Ultra, you know, he's in every BSL, so that's got to count for something.
Yeah, just like SPX, Ultra always in every single BSL. Kind of has a tough time making it past the round of 16, though. We'll see if this will be the season that he can finally move on into the round of 8. But of course, it's going to be already a tough group for him. Group A with KenZy, Sziky, and Tim, two very good Zerg players. We were talking about it in the break that Ultra's got pretty good TVT, but TVZ is going to be another beast. You've got high hopes for Tim. Tim is a good player. I'm pretty sure he came from CPL, right? Like, he's somebody that started in CPL. He was like C or B rank, then shot up all of a sudden to, you know, A rank pretty quickly, and then shortly after made it into S rank. Very impressive run for him. But this is Pro League, where you're facing people that, you know, get in excess of 2,400, 2,500 points. And now he's going to be going up against arguably the best Zerg player in the foreign scene in Sziky. So he's going to have a really, really hard time. But if we look at the win rates, actually, Sziky's superstar matchup is ZVZ. The versus Protoss is quite low. But again, we have to remember that when you play versus Protoss in BSL, it's usually the three superstars of BSL, DeWalt, Bonnet, and Oyachi.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I'm just gonna make the prediction, but I think Tim's gonna win.
Absolutely crazy prediction. What do we say?
Wait,
I
just
what's your
him,
saying?
Right?
What a hot take by guy.
I just cursed him, right?
Yeah, he's cursed now. So this is gonna be like a Sziky, like 9 pool links kill the entire probe line, just instant loss in 5 minutes probably because of the Gypsy curse.
You'll see, man.
We will see. Now, I am looking at the ages. Look at this. Tim, he's only 25. He's not even 25, man. He's 24.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Sziky, he's a boomer here. He's what, 32 years old? 32 years old.
Yeah. Well, we are a community of boomers.
Oh, you're a boomer now too? You're 28 now, aren't you? You're getting up there.
Yeah, I'm getting up there, man. It's kind of depressing.
2 more years, and then it's over for you. It's just all downhill from there.
Yeah, that's it. It doesn't get better than that. It's done. Well, dude, you're living your best life at whatever 40. Out in
40. Okay, I'm not our Tosis level. Come on. Even though I go, you know, actually I go to get my hair cut, and every time I go, the hairdresser makes sure to tell me, like, you know, you got like 3 or 4 gray hairs. I'm like, why? Why do you have to bring that up? Don't remind me, man.
I'm pretty sure I'm sure I've got some too, man.
Well, actually I got very lucky because my brothers, they have pure gray hair, and they've had them since they were 25. So I feel extremely lucky that I only have 3 or 4. But we don't care about that. What we care about now is whether Tim can take out Sziky in game 1. I think our players are ready. So if they are, let's just get straight into the first match of Group A. It's going to be Polyploid. We're going to see if Tim can make a surprise victory here. prepare for battle. In the top right, we have our Gosu League finalist. It is Tim.
And in the top left, the Hungarian legend is Sziky.
Yeah, so actually, if you watched ASL, we've been seeing a couple of Forge openers, so I wonder if Tim will opt into a Forge opener here. We've also seen 12 Nexus. So
I know what's going to happen.
What? Oh, you know? Okay, hit me with it. Just run it down for me.
We're going to see a 12 Nexus.
12 Nexus, just like that. That's the Gypsy prediction.
Yep.
All right, well, I'm going to go with, we're going to see a Forge. We're going to see a 12 hatch from Sziky, and Tim's going to cannon rush him.
No, that's not happening at all.
Well, there's the pylon. Looks like the pro's going to hang around for that gateway.
It looks like we're going for a... We're both wrong, dude.
Well, I mean, when you throw out such a crazy prediction that it's just going to be instant 12 Nexus, I got to come up with a crazy prediction, too. So, Sziky, that's not a 12 hatch either.
That is surprising. Okay, here's a bit of an insight here. You know, us NA players, we have a little Discord to ourselves. It's the StarCraft Cabal. And, you know, Tim was asking, like, what should I do? What should I do against Sziky? And I'm like, dude, just 12 Nexus. And
really?
Yeah. Now, thankfully, he didn't listen to me because that was the worst advice. I'm actually so happy he didn't because I would feel so bad. I honestly thought, you know, if you're in Sziky's shoes, you're the favorite here. You're definitely significantly favored against Tim. You just want to play a nice, standard, safe game and get through the best of one. And, you know, I would expect to just go overpool into 11 hatch and kind of make a few lings. But 9 pool instead, I do like that from Sziky. I was thinking about it, like, if you're the better player, might as well take control of the game early on.
Yeah, we already saw, you know, in the Foreign All-Stars versus Korean series, Action just went 9 pool almost every single game, and he did exactly like you said, like, okay, I'm just gonna not die, and I know I'm better than you, and then I'm just gonna win after.
Oh my god.
Well, goodbye, probe. And I do want to talk about this a bit, because, you know, a lot of people come to me for advice also when they're facing somebody significantly better than them. They're like, nah, okay, what should I do? Should I cheese this guy? What should I do? I have to tell you, even if you are the significant underdog, you got to play the build that you've practiced. I'm not saying Tim has not practiced 12 Nexus, but if he hasn't, you know, that's not going to be a recipe for success for you. So I am happy to see that he didn't listen.
No.
Oh, he loses a probe. Luckily, there are probes.
Oh, this is really good, though, for Protoss.
Is it? He loses 4 probes, and now still Lings get into the main.
Yeah, but that was a 9 pool, and now I mean, Cannon is already coming up. He's safe. He's stabilized, just needs to get the Nexus down. But third hatchery already, yeah, this is obviously, this is pretty decent for Zerg, getting those probe kills. He cannot get more probe kills. Cannot, oh no. I'm pretty sure that one probe went down, though, so another probe goes down.
Yeah.
But the counterattack, I mean, that's a lot of Zealots. That's 3 Zealots going straight for Zerg's main. I like how Tim's playing this.
Yeah, but this is where it gets... This is like the real test of skill. It's when you start balancing your probes while also hitting your build and also trying to attack the other side of the map. Probes are still taking a lot of damage to this one Ling. Meanwhile, Lings on the ramp arc, they do have an arc on that one Zealot. One falls already, and this is a disaster for Tim.
Oh no, and the thing is, he's just making non-stop Zealots instead of putting down a Nexus. This is going to put a lot of pressure onto the Zerg, but he has to have clinical micro, bonnet level micro. This is really good, though. Good trade. The Zealots are still alive. Needs to put down the Nexus, though.
Yeah, he needs to get...
Oh, he made another Zealot.
Oh, but that's a drone pull. Actually, this is going a lot better for Sziky than I was, or for Tim than I was anticipating. Sziky really doesn't have that many... Okay, now he's got the larva up and running at his natural, so now he's easily going to push back these couple Zealots. Nexus did now just start, so this is extremely late. Like, it starts when the third hatch is already done on location for Sziky. Oh, goodbye, Zealot.
Yeah, this is really bad for Protoss. The 3 hatches are already done, and the Nexus is nowhere near completion. So even if Zerg was significantly under-droned at this point, the economy is going to shoot right up. And I mean, Hydra Den already coming here. It's just so unfortunate. I feel like Tim definitely made one too many Zealots. Had he made the Nexus after those 3 Zealots that were pressuring, just Nexus right there, he would have been in a much better spot. But because he made the extra 2 Zealots before his Nexus, like, it just delayed it so much. The Cyber Core is pretty fast though, but the problem is you want to start making these probes ASAP. Sziky though, again, like you said, he did have to pull drones off of mining, and his natural saturation is pretty low. His third saturation, you know, we're thinking about Hydra builds, we're talking about 973. Finally, he's basically gotten up to 963, so maybe Hydralisks are going to be coming now. And yeah, I mean, I don't know, actually. It's maybe Sziky wasn't... Yeah, this Stargate's fast. Never mind, maybe I just don't know what I'm talking about, dude. This is why we need a Protoss expert on the cast.
Yeah, we need to have somebody to fill in for me and Gypsy here when we got a Protoss versus Zerg matchup. I think that now the Hydras are gonna start coming out pretty soon. As you mentioned, the saturation is pretty good for Sziky. He will be able to build additional hatches while going for that Hydra play. Meanwhile, Stargate follow-up for Tim, it's almost done. Now, what I'm looking for is Citadel timing. Oh no, goodbye Zealots. They don't have speed, obviously, because there's no Citadel.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, that was nice. Force out some units. You always want to move out, try and force out some larvae to be actual units and not drones. And Tim is going to turn around, but unfortunately, this is already like 8 Hydras. He might be able to just bust down these cannons.
Yeah, and he has no idea. He's still waiting for this Corsair, but because it's delayed, you see, 7 minutes. I mean, that's so late for first Corsair to come out. Hey, he's just dead. He only has 2 cannons.
Yeah, he had no idea that this was happening. Yeah. That's going to be the first cannon going down. Second cannon's going to fall pretty soon, too. The Lings are doing a good job to just keep the Zealots back. In fact, half of the Zealots are just glitching out. Okay, well, he just moves right in on that cannon. There's not a lot of Lings left over, but probes are being pulled. Sair is in the main or in the natural of Sziky, but it's that's a probe. That's not a Sair. And this is probably just GG. Even if those cannons complete, they don't help you defend anything.
Yeah, it's done so.
Oh no, he's picking out probes now. He's one-shotting these probes.
These cannons are, like, the thing is this wall's gonna go down, and the other thing is, like, you actually kind of need, like, you need the space in your natural as Protoss, because oftentimes you get contained until you get, like, Templars out. And,
oh, got the drone.
If you're just chilling there, like, yeah, I mean, if you don't have any units to put, any space to put your units in, you're just gonna start bleeding units off to the Hydras that are parked outside your base. And these probes have not been mining this entire time. Even I feel like even the Nexus is, oh my god, of course there goes.
I was also thinking that he can just range the Nexus. So Tim is, you know, moments away from just GGing out of this game. He has nothing to stop these Hydras, and Sziky's just going to continually build more and more Hydras. He's got good drone saturation at his third base. Natural kind of lacking, but it doesn't matter. He's going to start pouncing on these cannons. Probes and Zealots all fall down. Cannons fall down. And that's going to be Tim being put down into the loser's bracket, and Sziky's easily going to be moving on into the winner's match.
Yeah, well, I cursed him, so I kind of knew this was going to happen.
Well, I mean, it was obviously a huge mismatch here. Tim is a good player, but Sziky is someone that you expect to, you know, go very, very far into the tournament. It was going to be hard no matter how he opened.
Yeah, and I do like, I like that Sziky went for that 9 pool, given the fact that he was a stronger player here, and he really kind of, I mean, just rammed the advantage in. I still feel like, you know, obviously, I think he got 1 or 2 too many probes there, but I feel like if Tim had just kind of not made that many Zealots and taken his Nexus faster, especially considering he already put down the cannon, like, you gotta, you know, as soon as you put down that cannon, you have to recognize that, okay, I have to compensate somehow, and I can't be, if I'm overly aggressive, I'm already all in, so just cut the Zealot, put down the Nexus faster, but unfortunately, that didn't happen. And yeah, quick victory there for Sziky, and you know, Tim's gonna be waiting in the losers match on Shakuras. And up next, we're gonna have KenZy versus UltrA.
Yeah, so this should be an interesting matchup because we know Ultra is very good at TVT. We've seen him play versus Terror and have good success, but TVZ kind of up in the air, and we haven't seen KenZy in quite a while. We don't know what his current state is. If he played that show match versus Scan Bishop, of course he's got to be pretty good because he has to be if he's playing against players like that. So actually I'm going to favor KenZy a little bit here, but Ultra, he always makes it into BSL, always does okay in the round of 24, round of 16. So we'll see if KenZy can actually pull out a victory here. I mean, regardless who wins here, they're going to have such a hard time in the winners match because Sziky so deadly. But yeah, I think that this should be definitely the closest match of the day.
Yeah, and you know, a lot of the times, what's interesting about Tim is that he can actually play really solid macro games, but against a really good player, what happens a lot of the time is you just get so unbelievably far behind from the early game that you can't even play the game out. So yeah, that was that. And Ultra versus KenZy, like you were saying. I mean, I don't know why I was going back to that Tim versus Sziky thing, but I was just thinking about it in my head. Yeah, KenZy Ultra. I'm excited to see KenZy, dude.
Yeah, I actually want to bring up KenZy on Wikipedia because I played him in BSL 6, but then after that, I feel like, have we really seen him at all since then? No other series is coming to mind for him. Yeah, like BSL 6, he qualified, made it into the round of 16. And then after that, we haven't seen him ever since then. So 5 or 6 seasons have gone by without any KenZy. I'm really curious to see his level of play. As you mentioned before, he's a 2v2 player mainly. We've had other 2v2 players in the BSL. Players like Bobo come to mind instantly. A really good Zerg player, has amazing Muta control. But KenZy does not strike me as someone like that who only relies on Muta control. Like, he had really good macro when I played him. He ended up going into 3 or 4 base, like Ling Ultra Defiler, just very standard play. And we are getting a look at his records, of course. I think it's a bit deceiving here to look at the win rates because the seasons are so old. But as mentioned before, Ultra, always in BSL. He's got almost 50% across the board. So actually his first Zerg is a bit higher than I thought. And even though his TVT, we know is very good, that's surprisingly his lowest win rate here.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have to see here. There's one matchup, obviously, that Zergs struggle with, and that's versus Terran, especially the kind of old school Zergs that just get back into StarCraft. Like, generally, they have really strong ZVZ, they have really strong ZVP, but ZVT might be lacking, so, you know. That being said, I mean, I feel like it's been a while since I've seen Ultra play TVZ, so I'm not quite sure what to think about this game. Who do you think is favored here?
KenZy.
Okay.
I think without a doubt it's KenZy. Simply because of when I played him in BSL 6, I felt like me and him were similar level. I liked his macro, I liked his micro. He is a very good Zerg player. So we'll find out who's going to be going up against Sziky in the winners match. Let's get into KenZy versus Ultra. Of course, it's going to be on Polyport. Alright, in the red, the return of our French Zerg player, it is KenZy.
And in the top left is a Chilean Terran UltrA. I'm pretty excited to see a French player again, man.
There aren't many.
I mean, can't even there's what, KenZy, then there's Sarens.
Sarens, there's a name that I haven't heard in literally 10 years.
But I'm talking about like old, yeah. Other than that, I mean, there was there was a lot of Protoss, or there was a lot of there was like that Ninja guy, I think.
Ninja?
Yeah. Then there was it starts with an M. Remember? And he was a Zerg player, and he like did all the StarCraft 2 events. Momans.
Oh, Moman. Yes, I remember Moman because he always wears that Mario hat. The Goomba hat. He's always wearing that.
And then there's Adel Scott.
Okay, Adolf Scott, yes. Actually, I saw him playing ladder maybe a few months ago.
Yeah, he was playing in a Ghost League, okay. He was also playing ladder and complaining about stream snipes, so...
Actually, another French player that I remember is Bundy. I don't even know if people are going to recognize that name, but I think he was like one of the early WCG players. But other than those 5, I guess
I mean, there's Elke, obviously, too.
Okay, of course, Elke, but I mean, we're going into the fossil era, right? Like, I'm surprised you.
Well, you just. Name. Well, yeah, okay.
Well, let's talk about Ultra's build, because I told you pretty much earlier on that KenZy play is pretty standard in ZVT, I think. Now, Ultra, I don't think there's any doubt here that there is not going to be mech play, because I've seen Ultra almost every single season of BSL, and every single time I've seen him play TVZ, he's been hard on the bio, like 7 barracks on 1 base. He goes really, really hard on bio. So if we see anything other than that, I would be shocked. Now, I want to know what the answer here is for KenZy. Are we going to have a 3-hatch opener?
Yep.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be the case, because there is no gas just yet.
I like KenZy's drone scout too, kind of checked the middle and then wrapped around bottom left. So kind of, I mean, he knows what's up now because he sees the racks. He doesn't see the gas here from Ultra. Ultra though, not double scouting, and his initial scout is a bit late actually. Like it wasn't a 12 scout, I don't think. So this is, I'm surprised, man. You know, generally when you're in these positions, there's 2 things you can do if you're Ultra. If you scout top left and you don't see the overlords, just go bottom right and assume a standard scout path from Zerg. Or you double scout. He's putting down his command center without even confirming a hatchery. So this is incredibly risky. I mean, if this was 9-pool, game's like over. Fortunately for him, KenZy's playing standard, but...
Yeah, this is the Nyoken move where I don't care what you're playing. I'm just going to go with my build. And if it's a 9-pool, well, I'm just out of there. So, Ultra actually getting a bit lucky here. We saw SPX go for the double scout. That's really what you should do to make sure that you don't die to any initial pool opener. We see that, of course, he's not going to get punished this time. All eyes are really on Ultra's main. Is he going to put down a second barracks? Is he going to put down a quick gas, going to that academy play? Is he going to go for +1 really quickly? Now, the Lings get into position and deny the scout into the main, so Ultra's going to be in the dark. And usually when you're in the dark, that means you're going to go into an academy opener.
Well, looking at his build, does he even have a second?
No.
Okay. This is... yeah. I mean, the thing is...
That's going to be an academy.
That's an academy for sure.
I think. That's
There's no way it's not. There's no way. If this isn't an academy, I'm done.
Well, 4 minutes is kind of the number that I like for building the academy.
The thing is, like...
There it is.
There we go, okay. Thank God. I mean, at least this makes more sense. The reality, though, is it's just more efficient to go to cut Marines, skip your 3rd depot, get second racks, and then academy. Like, that's just the best way to do this. But, you know, this way that Ultra is doing it is very safe. I will give him that. So it's... because you have a lot more Marines than normally you would early on, so it's very safe versus early link busts. But I mean, KenZy, very standard player, doesn't quite go for it, and he even scouted 3-hatch. So actually, 3-hatch, this build is not very good against it.
And so there is the Spire standard opener from KenZy with the 3-hatch play. Meanwhile, SCV is most likely going to get picked off by those 2 links on hold position. Back in Ultra's main, we don't see any additional barracks coming down. I don't see an eBay either, so he's getting very... Okay, there's eBay. It actually was halfway done, so he's not super greedy.
Yeah, this is where it starts to hurt to have just the 1 racks production, because right now you would have 2 racks, so it'd be very easy to pump out the medics and stuff. But, you know, so far, I mean, it's not really that bad. And this is, again, 3-hatch Spire, so the Mulisks are you know, generally the Mutalisks would be hatching right about now. But that's not going to be the case, so I wouldn't be surprised to see 2 more racks get added here for a total of 4. That's going to be a really nice opening from UltrA. KenZy, we'll have to see here how he chooses to play this 3 hatch, because again, this is a bit off meta. Now, the 3 hatch, what's nice about it is that you can kind of consistently get those 9 Mutalisks out, which is it's a really strong number of Mutalisks. And a lot of Terrans that are used to playing against 2 hatchery, they might skimp out on turrets. And you have to remember, if Zerg comes into your base with 9 mutas plus the 2 more coming in after, so you get up to 11 really fast, you need way more turrets than normal. So that might be a way to catch UltrA off guard. And also, with that 3rd hatch being a production hatchery and the higher drone count, generally you're, you know, you could have like a significant amount of mutaling. So sometimes, you know, Terran doesn't respect that. It doesn't push a bit later than usual, or doesn't mass up a bit more. They can get caught off guard quite easily. But UltrA so far, you know, not in a rush to get his turrets out. Mutalisks are out though, so now is when the turrets should go down. And we should be, you know, a couple more SCVs here, but that should be cut soon. And then we should be getting the factory down ASAP. KenZy is getting a nice 3rd base going though at top right.
Well, here come those Mutalisks. Range is not done. Generally with the 4-minute academy, you're looking at like a 7:15 range timing. So that means that these Mutas have about 30 more seconds before that's going to be kicking in. Factory is about halfway done, so UltrA really crushing his build right now. Probably going to opt into a tank push because of how quick it is. Meanwhile, KenZy, he's got top right going up. I did notice that he built a Hydrogen too, so he's not pure Mutalisk here. He's going to be going into standard lurker follow-up.
Yeah, I like this from KenZy. It's very standard, especially going straight for the lurkers. It's very solid. Doesn't really put pressure onto him to do much with these Mutalisks except for delay. That's exactly what he's doing. You can see Terran is still inside of his base, not really pushing out just yet. And the lurkers are going to go straight to, or the Hydralisks rather, straight to the 3rd base. So this is going to be a really stable situation for Zerg. But at the same time, double starport coming here for UltrA. So Terran's not really complaining either about this opening.
Wow, Muta's got very lucky that that was a move command on those Marines. Didn't take any damage. Meanwhile, Queen's Nest going up, so hive timing is going to be pretty good. Lurkers are going to be in position at top right at a very nice timing. 8:15 is pretty standard for this opener. Double starport going up. There's the 5th barracks for UltrA. As I stated before, he loves to go really hard on the bio. I'm sure a couple more barracks will be going up pretty soon. Range is done now, and UltrA really hasn't lost any of his bio ball, but at the same time, KenZy hasn't lost any of his Mutalisks, so both players need to be careful as they move out. Looks like the bio ball is a little bit too big for KenZy to want to engage, but that's so many links. I'm actually kind of surprised he didn't try and engage it.
Yeah, and this is exactly what 3 hatch can be good for. Is you always have these links to work with, like the Mutaling. It's not too taxing on your economy, and lurkers are already out. Actually, that was a 6 scan from UltrA because he does see the stop lurkers. He is going to be able to prepare, but the reality is with the Mutaling and the lurkers, the thing is KenZy just lost track of these units. He does see it with the Overlord. Yeah, okay, the Overlord is going to see these units. So luckily for KenZy, I mean, that could have been a disaster because those lurkers could have been picked off. Then the natural would have been open. But still, oh, the drones are transferring in the middle of the map.
Drones.
No.
Get
okay, no, he pulled them
right. Mutalisks, and they kind of just take a lot of damage there, but it's still fine. Now lurkers are going to be repositioned. Oh, okay, they just repositioned a little bit. Meanwhile, UltrA should have his first couple of vessels coming out within the next few seconds. That is so much bio, and like I said, he loves to go hard on the racks. 6 racks is already done. He might actually bust this. I think there's only 1 additional lurker there. What are the Mutas doing? They're just AFK.
No, that was a poor attack there from UltrA, and now he's gonna lose his whole Marine ball, and for nothing really. And you can't lose this this group of Marines and medics because Zerg didn't really take any. The thing is, sometimes it's okay in TVZ to trade your army off with Zerg because that's, you know, specifically when Zerg is on low econ. But in this game, because Zerg went for that 3-hatch play with the early 4th hatchery at the 3rd base, look, even the 5th hatchery already done. Dude, KenZy's nuts, man. This is such a dominating position for Zerg to be in.
Well, I mean, you kill off half the army. I mean, what's Terran gonna do now? They don't have as much, and he killed nothing. You might as well take a 4th base. What's the worst that's gonna happen? Okay, he's gonna bust your 4th base, but you really didn't even lose any lurkers. I'm sure he has even more lurkers at top right somewhere. Defiler Mound is done. 2nd evolution chamber is going up. The fact that he has a 2nd evolution chamber coming up means he got his first one, much faster than usual. Usually that's the 1st evolution chamber going up.
Yeah.
So +1 armor, I'm sure, is going to be kicking in pretty soon. And because this is a 3-hatch opener, KenZy's econ is absolutely bananas. Like, usually my opinion is that ultras come out around 16 or 17 minutes, but because nothing has happened and because the econ hasn't been delayed at all, we may see something like 14 or 15 minute ultras. We did see that Defiler Mound is already up, so for now he's just going to kind of defend, but it wouldn't shock me if we just see an excessive amount of Zerg units be produced around the 15-minute mark.
Yeah, but at the same time, Ultra's build allows him to maintain like an upgrade advantage, whereas, you know, sometimes when you go for the eBay first, like the 5X variant, it's a bit harder to have that pressure with the upgrade timings. But this time around, I mean, Ultra is ahead in the +1 weapons or whatever, so that's gonna allow him to get a nice timing off before Ultras come out, or at least he's gonna be able to stay and irradiate a bunch of them. But that's only 2 vessels. I'm sure he has a couple more vessels at his main. He is expanding to the 3rd base. Nidus goes down, but will Ultra be able to capitalize on that?
But there's no Defiler here, so actually if he irradiated even just a couple lurkers, there's only 4. Okay, there's 5, but soon to be only 4. There could have been a window of opportunity. Maybe Ultra could try and bust that down. We do see that Ultra's decided that, okay, I can't bust. He's going to put down a 3rd command center at mid-left. Ultraless Cavern going down for KenZy as expected. His econ is phenomenal right now. 130 supply to 100. That's pretty much the dream scenario. He's also got macro hatches going up. He's got Sunkins to help defend versus drop. I was wondering if Ultra had drops anywhere, and he unloads in a really slick position. Actually,
and there's no Nidus.
Yeah.
That was the Nidus that just died. So actually, he will capitalize on that. And there's no units here. There's no Defiler.
Yeah, there's no Defiler, but there are a decent amount of lurkers. But as you mentioned, upgrade advantage for Ultra, and he's gonna plow through all of these lurkers. And Ultra, is he just gonna kill top right completely?
Yeah, that's just what happens sometimes in this matchup. The double dropship, it's very risky to go for because, you know, generally Zergs are so good nowadays at defending against that type of play that if it gets shut down, I mean, those were 2 dropships that could have been vessels, but I mean, this amount of damage is huge. He's gonna kill 2 hatcheries, he's gonna kill a bunch of drones. I mean, KenZy might be able to save this other hatchery at the natural, but behind this, Ultra does have a 3rd base. I don't know, man. This is so hard to be in as Zerg. I mean, if he saves this hatchery, maybe.
Well, there's okay, you gotta cast Dark Swarm when you have actual units. Meanwhile, first macro hatch ended up falling. More lings are gonna move across the map, but that hatchery is dangerously low. If he just focuses it, no, he's not gonna get it. But regardless, the damage was crazy. Oh, he got +1 weapon on his ground?
Oh no.
That was a massive misclick from KenZy. Now he's going to be down like 2 upgrades.
That's disastrous. Ultras are totally worthless down 2 upgrades. So, does kill the 2 vessels. Kind of a bit ballsy there to go for the double irradiate. I mean, you just really need 1, but okay, Ultra is going to try and push into this natural, but it looks like KenZy is going to be able to stabilize. The problem for KenZy, oh my gosh, unless this Nidus goes down before he gets more units there. No swarm up. The Nidus is taking damage. It can't go down, but it will. And all of a sudden, this base is still open. I mean, you don't know where the drops are. You don't know what's happening. Ultras are out, but they're slow. And, I mean, I think at this point, Ultra, the player, has +2 weapons, right? So, against the +1 armor of KenZy, oh my god, these Marines are going to have a field day against the Ultras.
Yeah, weapon advantage for Terran is amazing versus Ultras, especially when the Ultras still don't even have the chitinous plating on them. We can see that the Nidus has completed or is about to complete back at the natural of top right and the natural of bottom right. Meanwhile, Ultra, he's got about a 50 supply lead now. He's doing a really good job consistently reinforcing all over the map. Vessel count, okay, that is decent. He's got 4 right now. He did lose a couple doing an eraser, but actually Ultra's kind of killing it right now. If he had a couple fire bats, he might be able to plow through, but as played, he's not able to get through that Dark Swarm, and now Ultra should pop out of those Nidus to help save the day.
Yeah, Ultra is playing a solid game. He also has a mineral only, just playing very, very solidly. Look at these irradiates, man.
The Radiates taking down all the Defilers, even takes down 2 Ultras too. So this is fantastic play from Terran. He's going to end up saving these vessels, I think. Also, meanwhile, Ultra also took his mineral only. He's on 4 base. He's crushing it right now. He's got BCs coming out.
Yeah, man, that's what I was trying to tell you, man. Ultra is, he's good. Like, he's actually, honestly, I look at Ultra's play and I think he's getting up there easily with Terra and Dandy, if not have surpassed them in like certain areas of play. I mean, this is just immaculate play. Like, there's not really much you can say against it. Again, the 2 dropship play was a bit of a dice roll. You know, generally, some Terrans do prefer going for just mass vessels because you just don't want to roll the dice on getting those drops completely countered. But after that, Ultra, just everything he's doing, you know, double expanding, triple starport, it's very standard. Look, his APM is up. He's making units all over the place, getting everything irradiated. I mean, he's playing an absolutely phenomenal late game TVZ, and KenZy just cannot keep up.
Yeah, this is actually very good from Ultra. He's even shutting down the natural. Now, it looks like the BCs are going to bleed off and end up dying. But for now, he's still putting pressure down at top right. Score is going to be taken out. Scourge will end up killing these BCs eventually.
Oh, look at this, man. This guy's nuts.
I didn't even see it. So top right's gone. KenZy's having to deal with BCs at the same time. Meanwhile, he's trying to stage a counterattack at mid-left. Looks like these Ultras will shut down the mid-left base. But this is just fantastic play from Ultra. Wow, those Lings might save the day for now. Okay, now BCs are gonna... Well, no, they are gonna fall. No, they're not. Ooh. 1 survives. It has 12 kills.
Absolutely broken. Honestly, if you're Zerg and you're getting into late game, you 100% need to get the Carapace upgrade, because once, you know, the Scourge not getting plus or one shot by BCs is absolutely massive, but sometimes it's hard to find that gas that you need for that upgrade. But anyway, I mean, Ultra's just playing. Yeah, he's just playing out of his mind. He completely slapped down KenZy. I can't believe he even had that double dropship going. I wonder if those were the initial drops or if he just rebuilt them, but completely picking apart KenZy in the late game here. And honestly, if I'm Sziky and I'm watching this, I'm a bit scared, man.
Yeah, this was really good play from Ultra. And at the same time, look at the minimap. He's reinforcing bottom right. Like, he's a madman. He's all over the place. Top right, main, top right natural. At bottom right, also, he's got triple starport. I'm sure he's building more BCs. He defended mid-left at the same time. He's even got an SCV at the top left. So it looks like he's trying to expand there, too. And he's just crushing KenZy. Like, this wasn't even close.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy. Well, we'll have to see here. You know, this is Polypoid is. We'll have to see how Ultra does. I mean, we're talking like the game's already over, but this is so incredibly hard for Triple Zerg to come back, because triple starport battlecruiser just flying around in the middle of the map can just do whatever it wants here. KenZy is gonna call it GG. Absolutely insane performance there from Ultra. Just completely smacked KenZy down. And well, maybe I was wrong about the Tim prediction, but I told you about Ultra, man. This guy's pretty nuts.
He played out of his mind that game. You know, usually his TVT is impressive, but this TVZ, that game, very good. And as you said, Sziky might actually be a bit worried after watching that game, assuming he watched it. So we're setting up for a Sziky Ultra Finals. Meanwhile, we're going to have Tim versus KenZy in the losers match. So one of the players that are new to BSL, and in quite a while at least, is just going to be instantly eliminated, so that's a bit unfortunate. But this should be a really nice matchup now. I'm actually very excited for this, because I was not expecting Ultra to play this well. And Sziky we know is phenomenal ZVZ. His ZVP is also very good, but I think the one area that he seems to be a little bit lacking is ZVT. So actually, Ultra might be able to make it out in first place.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, Sziky is going to be a good benchmark for Ultra here, but we have seen Sziky in previous iterations of BSL struggle in the matchup. You know, I remember he got kind of picked apart by Dandy, and I don't remember. I mean, honestly, Ultra this game, he played like yeah, he played like the pros play, so definitely. I mean, everything about it was good. I mean, I think maybe the double expand could have been a bit faster given the situation, but again, like, and you know, the 2 dropships. The thing is, we have to, you know, we have to remember those 2 dropships did a ridiculous amount of damage.
Yeah, they did.
A ridiculous amount of damage. Like, anyone should win from that position. But again, the follow up was crisp, man. Like, just there's a lot of Terrans that forget. Like, the thing is, he clearly has a good idea of how to play the matchup. Now, let's see if he doesn't get that kind of huge advantage and against a stronger player, can he execute the same thing? That's what we have to see here coming up against Sziky. But definitely, like I said, if I'm Sziky, this is scary. The thing is, though, Power Bond is not polypoid.
No, it is not. It is definitely not. Now, because this is not in the map pool, and because Sziky wasn't even playing when BSL, what was it, 8? I think that's probably when it was in the map pool, or 7. You know, Sziky shouldn't have really much experience on here. Meanwhile, we know Ultra played in BSL. He's definitely played it a bit more than Sziky, so that he's going to at least have that going for him. I do have to say that Ultra made a really nice comeback versus KenZy, because remember, KenZy had 4 bases like at 10 minutes. That's just absolutely nuts. And Ultra threw his first Marine Ball, so to make a recovery like that is amazing. But as you mentioned, the drop completely changed the tides. I don't think that will happen versus Sziky. He's going to have to put up a more solid early game versus someone like Sziky, but hey, you never know. He could stage another comeback like that. I even though I know Ultra is a bio player, I secretly do hope he plays more mech here, since Power Bond is such a powerful mech map, but I don't expect to see anything different than him, than what he showed on Polyport, I mean.
Yeah, well, Power Bond is going to be the map between these 2 players. Let's see who gets out of Group A in first place.
In the blue, coming off a really solid performance, it is Ultra.
In the red, it is Sziky.
Yeah, so what Ultra did last game, as you mentioned, is pretty much exactly what you should do. If you're somebody out there thinking like, oh, well, how should I play TVZ? You should watch that game and you should copy that. The only move that is questionable is his bust at the natural. That was it. Everything else, where he's reinforcing, he's taking bases on time, he's building 6 barracks. He had good econ, he had good SCV saturation. Like, academy timing is a bit slow for current meta, but you still hit it at a decent timing. Like, everything is great. You should definitely consider copying that game. Now, I wonder how Sziky's going to open, because we already saw him versus Tim. We already saw him open with a 9 pool. I'm not sure if he's thinking the same thing here, where he's like, okay, well, I'm the considerable favorite. I just need to not die in the early stages. I do expect to see a normal 12 hatch opener.
Yeah, I mean, it probably is going to be a 12 hatch opener, right? So, the Power Bond, again, is... Honestly, this is a good Zerg map, in my opinion, because you can see the bottom right... Well, is it, though?
I think it's just an amazing Terran map.
But you like mech on it, but the thing is, if you don't mech...
Yeah, if you don't mech, then it's completely different. But still, there's
and he's
a lot
not
of
going
drop
for the
opportunity.
wall,
oh yeah, so I already hate his build. Like, he's no wall. I'm just kidding, of course. But this map has a lot of drop possibilities too, and we know Ultra obviously likes drops because he continuously dropped top right. There goes that scout. So pretty standard scout from Ultra. Again, no wall. Now Zzyky, we got our eyes on him. See what he wants to do as a follow-up. Is it going to be 2-hatch or is it going to be 3-hatch? Yep, it's going to be 2-hatch.
Yeah, well, I mean, you would expect it to be 2-hatch, but Zzyky was the player who, the other season was playing kind of a more old school style with the 3-hatch. So, you know, of course, he has not last season, but I remember BSL10. We were like watching his games, and he was still going like 15 gas or something like crazy that people used to go. You know, I remember there was a time where in ZVT, like the 3-hatch build was something like 17 gas. 16 Evo or something.
16 Evo, are you sure?
Yeah, I
was
swear. 2007, 2008 or something.
Okay, that's what I was about to say. This sounds like a Nyoken build. So it's very, very...
Whatever, man. People used to get their Evo chambers like crazy early.
Yeah, because +1 armor is so strong.
Yeah. But
everybody liked to fight in the center of the map for some reason, so you definitely needed armor in that scenario.
So... Anyway, but obviously this time, I mean, Zzyky was kind of doing almost that. He was doing like 15 gas, 16 gas or something. This was BSL 10. So, of course, now he is doing the more meta trending build 2-hatch. On this map, of course, makes a lot of sense. I mean, it makes sense on any map. It's just kind of the best build. A lot of lings, though, here to open up with. 6 lings. And given Ultra's build order and the fact that the SCV has stayed alive and confirmed lair first...
wow.
Okay, he's actually getting a bunker. I was gonna say he doesn't need a bunker this fast.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking that this was a misstep from Zzyky because Ultra's building continuous Marines, and 5 Marines are going to beat 5 Lings. But instead, Ultra does not feel safe. He is going to force out the bunker, so that's a nice win for Zzyky. Now, behind this, there's the second barracks. There's going to be the gas. Now, Academy should be following up pretty soon. He's got 150 minerals. Need to hit that Academy timing. So important, especially versus 2-hatch Muta. There it is. So pretty standard, you know. This is actually kind of an older Academy timing, like 6 months ago. More players are rushing the Academy to get range faster. But this is still an okay timing.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing again. Back to the last game, was a bit questionable about Ultra's build, but at the same time, it allowed him to be extremely safe against any early game timing. So I can kind of respect that that kind of build order in that sense. But somewhere around, Ultra does get the rescout. He does confirm the Spire, knows this isn't Hydra Den or anything, and honestly, confirming the Spire at this point is pretty nice because you can delay your comsats, you can get a couple more SCVs out before the Mutalisks come out, and that can completely change the game. You know, 4 more SCVs at this stage of the game is a massive eco boost. It means that you can start going up the tech tree and putting down turrets and getting your racks count up. It's a huge advantage to confirm the Spire at this point. So I would expect him to just, yeah, you can see he's still making SCVs. Man, Ultra is playing really well, dude. Like it's like I don't know, I don't remember him being this good. I remember I've played him a couple times on the ladder, and I'm like, I was pretty surprised by his skill level. It's like not even the same player playing. He's playing really solid in this early game here.
Yeah, everything looks pretty darn good right now. Generally, you're moving out around this time, so I guess Ultra's not feeling confident to move out with his Bio Ball just yet. But he's gonna save that 1 Marine, so that's nicely done. Now, Power Bond, there is a lot of area like we were saying, so there's gonna need to be turrets all over the place. Looks like actually Ultra's not gonna move out at all, and that's going to allow Zzyky to get up that 3rd base pretty easily.
Look at this, he still doesn't have comsats. But,
well, he doesn't need them.
There we go. Well, no, but at this point, like you're cutting SUVs anyway to get turrets up. So here comes the Mutalisks. This is the problem with Power Bond. It's just like this main is so hard to defend. I don't actually think Turak's play is good on this map. If you're gonna go bio, I think you need to think about stuff like Valkyrie builds. Yeah, I mean just Valkyrie builds, or maybe even a +1, I don't know, with the wall or something, but this main is so open, And right about now is when range should finish, and he should be moving out onto the map, not defending his main base. So that's one thing. Sziky, though, is being very patient with these Mutalisks. He's keeping Terran back, and you know, it's just hard because now if he tries to move out, I mean, every time he tries to move out, Sziky is just going to be there slamming a couple of SCVs. And the longer Ultra waits to move out, the more time Zerg has to get the drone count up, which means that they can get a bunch of Sunkens out. And if they get Sunkens out, then Zerg can just continuously harass Terran because the counterattack is not going to work. So, you know, it looks like Ultra instead is just banking on trying to get a really fast tech going. His factory is almost done.
He's just going for, you know, pretty much the I'm not going to die to any Muta harassment, and then I'm going to come back with a sick vessel count and just put a lot of pressure on you in the early stages of Hive, you know, where he's just kind of holding on by a thread, building lurkers and defilers nonstop. I think this is a good move for Ultra if he's not confident in dealing with the Mutas out in the center of the map. He's making sure that he doesn't take any economic damage. He really hasn't lost that many Marines. He's kept the Muta count, you know, not at an absurd number. It's still at just one group. Fourth rack's coming down. Science, or not science facility, Starport should be coming down pretty soon. Now, what some players like to do is they like to sneak out a couple of Marines at this stage in the game. It looks like Ultra's not going to do that, but that is a move that you could do since you know where all the Mutalisks are. Now, I am getting a bit worried that that Bio Ball is at 6 Marines only. That could easily be wiped out by Sziky.
Sziky is doing so much damage with these Mutalisks. His control is on point. He's constantly killed these SCVs mining gas. He's trimming down the Marine force. And Ultra doesn't have double starport going just yet. The natural gas was delayed quite a bit. The thing is, he's actually bleeding. Again, he's bleeding SCVs as well, so his economy isn't really quite where it should be. And adding all these racks at the same time now, it's going to be very taxing. I mean, I don't think he's going to be able to even use the 2 starports for him. So just in general, and double bunker too, that's so weird. This is a really, really bad spot to be in as Terran, man. Like lurkers are out. He might actually get contained, and if he gets contained on this double starport play, there's no tank. He needs to land that factory now and make tanks, because there's no way he's getting out of this before defilers get to his natural.
Well, he doesn't even have vessels started yet. The science facility just finished. Now, as he mentioned, lurkers are going to be set up in position, and that means that he is flat out never getting outside of his base anymore. Not versus this amount of lurkers. If it was only 2, maybe. But now that 5 are set up, he is in mega trouble. You can see that double add-on is now complete for the starports, but still no vessels, and still these Mutalisks are just sharking around.
Yeah, no, I mean, this is not good for Terran. I mean, you have to land the factory at this point. He's gonna just sit here, get contained until the defiler comes out and die. Like, there's just not much Terran can do in this situation. Maybe if he goes for some YOLO, the thing is, he might go for some. You can't. I mean, the most YOLO thing I can think of is go double dropship here and pray that you don't run into the Mutalisks. But
he might be waiting for +1 armor. Like, well, he didn't rush the eBay, so I don't think that's the case. Oh gosh, but if this was an eBay rush, +1 weapon could have +1 armor could have completed by now. But as played, I don't think +1 armor is going to complete for maybe like another minute, and by then defilers with consume might be done.
Yeah, Sziky's playing really solidly. I like how he got up to Hive Tech, adding his double production hatcheries. He's got Evo chambers, got nice saturation everywhere. All of this off of the first. He didn't really overmake Mutalisks, didn't overmake lurkers, but this contain wasn't actually in position, and he's gonna lose all the lurkers, and all of a sudden. Oh, I mean, he does trade those lurkers for the double vessel, so that's worth it in the end. 100% it's worth for Sziky. But honestly, I feel like this game, it should have just ended with this contain.
Yeah, the whole time I was thinking, like, wow, those lurkers are pretty far away, but I thought he could still hold a bust. And that's unfortunate for Sziky, because look at that defiler timing. He just now gets consumed. So really slick timing to just in the nick of time bust out of his base is Ultra. It was even before +1 armor, so very risky move, but he had to do it, otherwise he was mega dead. Now the first defilers are still moving across the map, and remember, the first 2 vessels died, so Darkstorm's going to be almost impossible to deal with. No, you can't lose this other vessel.
Yeah, vessel's down, 3rd vessel down. This game is going to be extremely hard for Terran. I mean, if he had gotten out of that contain with the 2 vessels intact, it would actually be a really good spot to be in as Terran, because I mean, if you get 2 port going with a bunch of racks, like, and don't get punished for it, it's just sick good. But now losing the first 3 vessels, he is double expanding, but I mean, you can't in this situation.
Is he just gonna die to a counter?
I mean, he just ignores this push here. I do like how Ultra is playing. I mean, the thing is, he can't just sit there and wait for the Darkstorm to get pushed. So he's cutting off reinforcements and at the same time pressuring Zerg's natural, but it's just not going to be enough to break it. Though at least he's cutting off reinforcements. That's only 2 lurkers inside of that Darkstorm. And the Defilers finally get irradiated, and not just that, but obviously with this group of units in between the natural of Sziky and his push, Ultra can deny stuff like Lings from getting next to the Defilers to like consume or whatever. So basically, he's not dead, which is huge. And now he's he was double expanding, and he's regaining map control. So all of a sudden, I mean, Ultra might be in a really good spot.
Yeah, and now he's gotten into the 3rd base. Okay, Darkstorm comes in the nick of time. Lurkers are not going to fall. Vessels are going to sync up with this army too, so Irradiate is going to be pretty strong to try and push it back, maybe. I was wondering if actually those were dropships, but they are not, of course. Meanwhile, Ultra pushes outside of his base. That's going to allow him the ability to transfer SUVs to these 2 new bases that he got. But look at bottom middle. Ziky's taking a 4th base also.
Yeah, I mean, this base from Sziky is nice. Another vessel goes down. This is the big problem for Ultra. When you lose... He's lost 4 vessels already this game. Just, it loses so much pressure. Terran loses so much of their pressure. Like, if Terran had like 6 vessels running around, oh my god, he even went for double dropship. So this is a terrible spot to be in, because now Ultras are coming out, but Ultra does not have a response for the Ultras. He doesn't have a Irradiate. He now doesn't have a Bio Ball either. The upgrades are not looking too oppressive from Zerg though, so that's one thing that's going for the Terran player, but man, losing all those vessels.
Yeah, and a small contingency force moving into position. There, well, the Filer is kind of far behind. He needs to get that Dark Swarm down. There it is. Oh, the Lurkers aren't in the Dark Swarm, but the Lings are buying a lot of time.
Well, there you go. I mean, second Dark Swarm does cover the Lurkers, and if the Lings are alive, the Filer is just chilling outside of the Dark Swarm. If the Lings are alive, he can just consume them and then push the Dark Swarm up into the natural. I mean, this is just annoying to deal with anyway. And behind the Sziky is probably, I mean, still has a huge gas bank. The upgrades aren't quite where they should be at this point, 15 minutes in, 1-1. But, you know, Ultralists are going to come out any time now. And looking at the Terran player's vessel count, it's not quite where it should be. +2 finishes for Ultra. So he is going to be in a solid position upgrade-wise. But looking at the supplies, it's not looking good for him.
Well, he's busting out right now. Still 1-1 for the Zerg. Meanwhile, Terran, I think, is at 2-1. +3 carapace is kicked in for the Ultras. Ling and Ultras are clearing up this tiny bio ball. Remember, despite double expanding, you know, you have to, that means that you're lacking units in that critical phase, obviously. Oh, he's going for a drop at bottom middle, but it looks like there's only 1 Marine left over, so that's not a big threat. Meanwhile, Dark Swarm gets on top of the bunkers.
Yeah, I mean, that's it. There's the thing is, Terran lost their ball, lost the vessel cloud. These drops aren't really doing anything. Sziky just completely handling Ultra this game, and you know, honestly, I just think it comes down to Ultra's build choice. Powerbomb, just not the best map to go 2 racks on. And GG, Sziky is going to advance in first place, and Sziky played a sick game there, actually. He played super solidly, and just, like, his Mutalisk Harass was on point, his build was on point, his macro was on point, and just completely dismantled Ultra.
Yeah, but Ultra looked Still pretty good. I mean, the double expand is obviously very greedy, and you could see he got punished because he just flat out didn't have any units. You can have, 5 million expansions, but there's going to be a point where none of that has kicked in just yet. And Sziky took advantage of that, pounced on him while Ultra was vulnerable. Ultra was starting to get scary because he's putting down his 7th and 8th barracks. He had add-on going on for BC, so he's going to be very, very dangerous in the next couple minutes. So Sziky hitting a really nice timing before that happened, and Ziki's going to make it out of the group in first place. And that means that Ultra's going to be waiting in the Deciders match, and then we're going to find out who's going to make it into that Deciders match between Tim and KenZy. But before we do that, we're going to be going to a quick commercial break. We are back. We are going to get into the losers match of Group A now. It's going to be between KenZy and Tim. We saw Zziky just pick apart Tim, and then KenZy looked very good versus Ultra, but unfortunately 2 dropships completely changed the tides of those games. Now we're going to find out who's going to be eliminated. And you were saying you liked Tim earlier, but what do you think about Tim's shots versus KenZy here?
I don't know.
You don't know? We're not going to do any predictions?
No.
Because both of you made a prediction today. You predicted Tim versus Zziky, and I predicted KenZy over Ultra. We're 0 for 2. So I think it's
the
best
cast
if we
curse.
Yeah, I know. It's like you make any prediction, and it's just like instantly like, nope, you shouldn't have said that.
The one that mattered yesterday with the salt, so you won that
Yeah,
one
of course,
with
of
Artosis,
course.
so I don't know.
Running it up.
Yeah,
That was a
running it up.
crazy game. That's
That's such a clown.
People don't know, but me and Mihai were in a Discord, and I was losing my mind at that
We were
game.
both
So was
losing
Mihai.
our minds.
Yeah, we were.
Well, we had so much salt on the line, dude. You
I
bet
mean, that's all that
150
matters, right?
You went all in 150k. I bet half of it 100k
I literally did.
on
I, like,
opposing results.
as the salt was building
You
up.
got
while it
so
was...
lucky, dude.
Okay, no, that's pure skill.
Dude,
right
that
there,
guy
but-
he was playing was the most potato player I've ever seen ever play the game. I feel like it's a trend on the Tosa stream. He just, well, I don't know where he finds these people, man.
Well, every day is a new most potato player for Artosis, it seems. So I'm sure there will be another big potato player tomorrow, or not tomorrow, Monday for him. But we've got Tim versus KenZy coming up. We really didn't get to see much of what Tim wanted to opt for because it was just chaotic from the get-go. You were talking about how you hoped he went for a 12 Nexus.
Oh yeah, that
he
would
he already did not listen to you, so I'm curious what he's gonna go for.
Well, that's surprising though from Sziky. I really wasn't expecting the 9 pool, but yeah, I mean the thing is he went Gate Expand, and Gate Expand's fine versus 9 pool, but he didn't quite manage it well enough. KenZy on the other hand, I mean, I'm guessing Tim, you know, if he didn't pull out something crazy against Sziky, I don't think he's going to pull out anything crazy against KenZy. So if I'm KenZy, I'm looking at this, I'm kind of expecting there to be a 10 pool or a 10 gate opening, or 9 gate, whatever, 1 gate expo. Now, the craziest thing Zerg can do to counter 1 gate expo is something like a 9 hatch. Now, do I expect KenZy to ever do that? No. So probably it's going to be a very standard game here.
All right. Well, with that said, we are ready. We're going to be going into Shakura's Temple. Best of 1. Whoever loses here will be gone. So we'll see if KenZy or Tim is going to make it in to the deciders match. In the blue, in the bottom right, our French Zerg player, it is KenZy.
And in the bottom left, the American Protoss, it is Tim.
Alright, well hit me with some ZVP on here, because apparently Terran's broken on this map. But we have no Terran in this scenario, so what about ZVP for Shakura? Do you like it?
I don't know, I'm no Protoss expert.
Well, I think in general, probably any map Zerg likes versus.
I mean, the statistics are definitely not good for Protoss on this map.
Yeah, I do remember that it was, what, like 58% win rate for Zerg? Okay, well, Probe hanging around, so that's going to be another...
Okay, I'll say this. Alright.
Yep, say it.
This map, very good for Korean-style ZVP. Not so good for Turtle Zerg, in my opinion.
Well, that's unfortunate for me because I actually love watching the Turtle Zerg. Anytime Larva goes up against Bisu, I'm always excited to see that because he loves to go Turtle Zerg and he seems to always have Bisu's number. Okay, now that is a curious wall because there's a gap on the left side, right? It looks like there's a gap on the left side.
Yeah, but he's going to put a forge down there.
Okay, well, we'll see how this works out because
the forge, you can't put it on the right side, so the forge is going to go to the bottom left of the gateway, and then
yes,
I mean, the pylon's placement is kind of weird, but I think it's fine.
Yes, that's what I'm mostly worried about. Oh my god, you cannot lose your probe instantly. Oh, that could have been great, but he doesn't get that delay onto the hatchery.
Yeah, actually, that is really unfortunate because honestly, when you first scout Zerg like this and they're going for 12 hatch, most of the time you should force the pull out. Like, you should be able to delay the hatchery enough that the Zerg gets fed up and gets the pull out. Now, again, when you have 2 drones to work with, sometimes you can out micro the probe, and that's probably what happened here for KenZy. But that was very fortunate that KenZy got so many hits off onto the probe early on, because that could have been disastrous for Zerg. But even then, like, it delayed everything quite a bit. And here comes the Zealot. And remember, this map, the rush distances natural to natural on adjacent spawns is quite short.
Yeah, now there's even a second probe with this, which is interesting to say the least. He's gonna try and get, well, actually, that's gonna be a Nexus, but he's gonna try and, I guess, pop a couple of these drones with the double probe. Okay, now, oh wow, he almost gets that drone actually. Zealot into the main. Oh, goodbye drone. So that's one drone already gone.
The second, I mean, one drone is a decent amount of damage, but the thing is, you never really. Oh,
he gets. He almost gets another drone.
He has to get another drone. He gets one drone, but the thing is, he lost. If he gets another drone, is that what the double probe is for? No, it's not. And the fact that he pulled an extra probe there, I don't even think that was worth, man. I don't know what he was doing with that second probe. Like, what's the point of that?
Like, as it was unfolding, if you think about it, double probe will bust down the drone to 30 health, so you can just instantly 2-shot the drone. But at the same time, a single probe should get off 2 shots regardless. So that is, I actually think he maybe misrallied or something, or accidentally sent it.
Yeah, I don't know.
As played, he got 2 drones, which is very good.
Let's just say that, well, I don't know. That's the thing. Like, usually, the thing is, this was a 12 hatch, Dan. It wasn't an 11 hatch. 12 hatch, you lose 1 drone, you're fine. Who cares? Two drones is big, but I mean, Protoss lost an additional probe to that, so I feel like it just cancels that out.
Yeah, that is definitely true. Now, probe does need to be careful to not let these lings get in. Zealot is going to try and move out and delay. Okay, he did push those lings back. Meanwhile, we were talking about not going to be split map Zerg. Well, everything so far looks like it might be split map Zerg, because that is a natural placed hatchery at top right.
I don't know, man. The thing is, this game, that's what I say when I'm half listening to you and it's my turn to speak, Nayakan, just so you know.
I know, I'm aware.
Okay.
You've done it enough that I got used to it.
Yeah, and I'm telling you guys, he's probably just Hawkeye watching me kind of fidget around on the camera, but no. And what I was gonna say is, this time around, compared to the game versus Sziky, the Nexus timing is way better. Like, against Sziky, the Nexus was still on the way when the 3 hatches were done. At least this time around, Tim got his Nexus out before the 3rd hatchery was finished for KenZy, and you can see Stargate already coming out so much faster than the game against Sziky. So overall, this is looking decent for Tim. I mean, at least he's going to be able to play a game out here. And honestly, his macro can be really, really strong. I know KenZy is obviously an amazingly strong macro player, but you know, Tim's no slouch. So I feel like and especially with inexperienced players, I feel like, you know, if you get in a tournament like this, you are okay. Well, hold that thought. Lings are going to engage on top of the Zealots, and that's more Zealots than these Lings can handle. You can see here, this is a good engagement from Zerg, but just not enough Lings. Tim microing beautifully though, does get some sick trades off.
But now speed is kicked in. He will clean up the rest of these Zealots. Now back in the main of KenZy, I didn't see if there was a lair or hydrogen or what. Yeah, there's nothing. So this Sair actually is going to get multiple Overlord kills. Like, there's nothing to defend this.
Where's the Hydra then? He's just going to go for spores?
Doesn't exist. Yeah.
Oh no. Well,
what happens if he builds a scout? How's he going to shut down the scout?
Well,
when
the
he gets into
scouts.
the mineral on.
Yeah, too bad the scout is like 275 minerals. It's like a flying nexus. Remember, this is the same thing we said when we watched Vadi last season. He built a Valkyrie TVT versus Ultra, and then I kept calling it the flying command center.
Oh yeah, they're so expensive. But actually, Shuttle built a scout in ASL, and it actually dealt a lot of damage.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you didn't see that game? That was a very nuts game.
Why would I watch Protoss games? I'm not a Protoss player. That's why I don't have any Protoss expertise.
Okay. Well, we have KenZy powering ridiculously hard. He's taking his 4th base at top right main. He's got 6 hatches. He has absolutely nothing other than these lings and like a single spore.
I mean, the thing is, these spores are gonna defend against the Corsair. And this is a weird style to play against if you're Protoss, so I don't think I don't think he has a very mapped out plan against this. Honestly, if you went something like a bunch of DTs maybe. The thing is, you can do a lot of stuff against this, but you have to know what you're doing. I mean, you can even go up to 6 Corsairs with +1, because spores don't really defend against Corsairs that well. He is getting his cybernetic score upgrade, which seems to be range here. And I mean, here's the thing, right? PvZ centered around, the matchup is very centered around the goon timing. So whenever Protoss can accelerate the goon timing, that's going to be really scary for Zerg. But when Zerg plays Turtle Zerg like this, they can just spam sunks at both bases and be relatively safe. And because Tim hasn't put on any early pressure here, mostly because he didn't continue Corsair production, because he didn't invest into, the early Zealot attack. I don't know. I mean, I'm not liking this position for the Protoss player, man.
I'm not either. He's got, Zerg is kind of playing a bit weird also because he's continuing to build a lot of lings. He's got a Spire coming up. He's got gas at his Nat running for quite a while. I thought.
Oh no, he's going to lose the Corsair.
Oh no. I actually thought that this might be mass Muta play, but 3rd gas at top middle actually I think is taken, so this could be mass Mutas. This is actually Nyoken style where you just spam Sunkens while taking bases and then go mass Mutas. But Tim's going to move out before that happens, but I don't know if this is going to be a big enough army. That is a lot of lings in the back.
Well, he can range this hatchery, which would be a nice move once Dragoon range finishes. I feel like this push here is a bit too early from Tim. But yeah, it is going to be mass Muta. I think Tim actually saw the Spire because he was actually making Corsairs from his Stargate. So that 2nd Corsair there is fresh.
Armor's done.
KenZy's going in with +1 armor. Does Tim have +1 attack? I mean, it doesn't even matter because it's nullified. And these lings are just completely slamming the Protoss units down.
Yeah, so unfortunately Tim moved out a little too quickly like you were talking about. +1 armor kicking in, and it nullifies that crucial upgrade on the Zealots. Now, he's just being pushed back by pure ling. Actually, would like to see KenZy start going into Hive already, because if you're already going to have killer upgrades like that, okay, there it is. There is the Queen's Nest at top right. He's got like 7 hatches already, man.
Yeah, I mean,
he has 1-1 already.
Yeah. This is really hard for Protoss. You really need, I mean, there's definitely a response to this, but as a Protoss player, you need to be just really kind of experienced to deal with builds like these from Zerg. And whether it's, I mean, I'm sure there's multiple styles of playing against it, whether it's continuously making Corsairs and going for like a Zealot DT timing with the Corsairs, cleaning up, because like you need a lot of spores to kill the Corsairs before they kill Overlords. And the DTs actually trade really well versus lings, is what I'm trying to get at. Or you need to just take a really fast 3rd base and go into Goon Man. But Tim kind of, you can see he just doesn't really know what to do.
Well, Nexus is going to survive. That is a very exposed Nexus, but at least he's going to have his 3rd base up and running. He's going to have 3 gas accessible to him. Oh my goodness, it's going to be Ultraman with 8 hatch production right now. Tim, meanwhile, I did notice he has double forge, so +2 and +1 armor should be kicking in pretty soon. This is Shakura, so he does have access to 4 bases quite easily, but because KenZy has gone unhindered, I really expect him to just, you know, pump out a couple ultras in a couple minutes and just have this unstoppable Ling ultra combo.
Yeah, I mean,
armor
especially
finish.
oh, and that's what you hate to see. The thing is, like, Protoss needs to get the +1, or needs to get. I wonder if that was the 2 forge or off the first forge, but you definitely need a upgrade advantage against the style of Zerg.
Well,
Hatchery goes
Lings,
down.
Yeah, Hatchery falls. Ling is going to come in through the back. It looks like Adrenaline isn't done just yet. That's a great storm. Hits so many Lings, but there's just so many more Lings flooding from KenZy. Supplies are almost dead even at this point. +2 weapon now kicks in.
Yeah, and he went in before the +2 weapon finished, and so the Zealots weren't two-shotting the Lings. I mean, it doesn't even matter if they do, because the production from KenZy is just off the charts. And, yeah, just a bit of an experience here from Tim in dealing with what KenZy was doing, but, I mean, Zerg has been running away with this game for a while now.
Yeah, that is a lot of drones just instantly produced off of 3 hatches, 9 at once, so that's going to be a huge power spike for KenZy. He's already got so much econ. He's got 2k, he just spent 1,500 of it right there, so you know ultras are going to be coming out pretty soon. Meanwhile, Tim's third base is up and running. He's greater Spire. We haven't seen a single Mutalisk.
You can just do whatever you want, dude, at this point as KenZy. He can probably just go mass Queen. Alright, maybe not, but...
I mean, he could, because he could pop all those goons in an instant. It wouldn't be
Wait,
bad.
Didn't we
He can
see
get the
that?
Templar, too.
I feel like
I mean, we've seen Mass Queen from people like Larva who just pop the medics in ZVT and just troll. But I mean, it's not a bad option here. Like, God, that's so many ultras. What's the counter to Queens, right? Like, I mean, we don't have Sayers. We have one.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. The point is, it doesn't really matter. I mean, what does Protoss do here? Protoss needs to think about taking a 4th base somehow, but the thing is, and like getting into Reaver Tech and maybe Zealot Archon, the thing is these Dragoons are still going to be useful because it doesn't seem like KenZy is actually getting a Defiler mount, so he has that going for him.
Yeah, Goons actually are very good versus Ultras, in fact. But
yes,
what I'm most scared about is Lings have been 1-1 for a while. Oh, there we go. There's 2-2. And Tim's all the way across the map. I'm just waiting for this huge, massive flank to engulf the Protoss army any moment now, but it looks like Tim may actually be able to escape. Meanwhile, Tim is taking a 4th base on the left side. Now, the 1-1 timing was
oh my god, dude,
slightly faster than Protoss's +2, but +3 should be kicking in somewhat soon. Uh-oh, shuttle drop. Might barely avoid that Scourge.
Dude, that one Scourge is just off duty, man. On the coffee break.
Meanwhile, action is happening in the center of the map, so KenZy might not notice this. I'm getting flashbacks to the Ultra game where a drop just changes the entirety of the game, but as I say that, all of Tim's army gets instantly wiped out.
You know what's really strong against Ultra Ling or whatever is like a Corsair DT switch late game. You know, I feel like I've said this before, but you know he used to do that a lot? Infernal.
Infernal?
Yeah.
I don't think I've actually ever seen Mass DT Mass Sayre, but people have talked to me about it.
Yeah, late game. Well, it used to be a thing back when... The thing is, like, in those days, Ultras were pretty standard in the matchup, so... That's why, like, late game Corsair DT switch. And the thing with this style of play from KenZy is that you don't actually have range upgrades for a while. I mean, he can't afford it, but he's probably not getting them. That
is a lot of Ultras, and there's only a single Archon, so the Ultras are just going to have a field day on these Zealots. The cannons are a little bit too late. I think KenZy smells blood. He's going to continue pushing in here, and there's just not enough Protoss. One DT is there, I can see it, but I mean, there's just not enough DPS. Storm is great. Goodbye DT now, and that's going to be a dead 4th base, I think. Gateway trying to save the day for now.
Yeah, I mean, Protoss is down in supply. That's going to be it, man.
Yeah, 30 supply lead now for Zerg on 4 bases with like 10 hatcheries. The drop in the main did a lot of damage for Protoss, but not enough to overcome the insane econ advantage that KenZy has had the entire game. Goodbye Nexus. And that's going to be Tim put back down essentially on 1 base because his main and natural are going to mine out pretty soon.
Yeah, and I mean, against Ultras, you need to have a pretty big ball. Tim, of course, he is going to fight it out, duke it out like a true warrior, grind it out. Shuttle drop coming in, but looking at the map, Zerg is now securing their 5th and 6th base and has a huge bank to work with, has a bunch of hatcheries to work with. Meanwhile, Protoss kind of just relegated on their small side of the map. There's their little corner here.
Yeah, so Tim's army is quite tiny. We can see that KenZy is going to clean up this shuttle. KenZy is approaching max. He's got 2k, 2k. So that's what, like 10 ultras right there. That's 40 supply. So that puts him basically at max. He's got full upgrades now, 3-3. Mass DT coming out, as you were talking about, but no Sayers to deal with the Overlord. The Storm is fantastic. Tim needs more trades like that, though, but he just doesn't have the econ to follow up this attack with. He also doesn't have any units, really. What, he has like 7 units total?
Yeah, the DTs are pretty sick, though. They're actually quite strong against Ultralisks. You know, they just do so much damage, and Zealots actually are really bad against Ultralisks because, of course, the armor is, yeah, they just do, like, no damage per hit because it's divided by 2 or whatever. So they do, like, 6 damage per hit, right?
It's dreadful. It's horrible.
Man.
Really, what I was expecting him to do was build more Archons, but they never really came to fruition. I mean, I don't think it would have mattered because KenZy's econ is just crazy, but more Archons in this comp would have helped quite a bit. Now Tim is across the map again, and now this time he is going to get sandwiched by KenZy. KenZy is basically maxed now. Dark Storm going to be coming in. Well, actually, okay, there we go. There's the army. Well, no, actually KenZy's army is not as big as I think. Where is all of his supply, really?
Yeah, I mean, he does have a lot of drones and a lot of eggs making,
Yeah.
so I think probably he has a bunch of units on the way. Yeah, the thing is, Tim is just on 3 base here, so that's the big problem for him. He's about to mine out his natural, and Zerg again has already established kind of fresh bases. Oh, Guardians. Okay, I was gonna say what he made that Greater Spire earlier on, and doesn't seem like he has been using it, but oh, he's even making more Guardians. This is JU?
One at a time. Yeah, he's just trying to be annoying. Meanwhile, Ultralist flank at the top side of the map. Plague comes down, hits all of the units, and this is going to be Tim's army getting completely bamboozled off the map. I think this is going to trigger the GG. Tim just doesn't have anything, and it's like 6 base Zerg. There it is, GG. Unfortunately, one of the Ghost of League heroes is going to be eliminated in the round of 24. He is going to fall first to Sziky and now to KenZy.
Yep. Tim did not make it through, but there's always next season. Of course, your first season in the BSL can be a bit of a, you know, it's like you're getting it's like the initiation, man. Like you're getting hazed, and you know, having a group with like Sziky among others is pretty tough, but there's a decent showing from him. Hopefully we'll see him again in future seasons. And yeah, so we're gonna have a rematch, right? Ultra versus KenZy.
Yeah, so we're going to have Ultra versus KenZy coming up. We saw KenZy get a nice lead versus Ultra on Polyploid, but then drop, change the tides.
Yeah.
You know, I talk with Rhett often, and he always whines.
Oh, yeah.
Whines is not the right word, but always talks
Oh,
about
it is.
Like, just build 4 dropships, man, and you can just win the game. I mean, apparently you only need 2. So, you know, KenZy definitely has that in the back of his mind. Like, okay, I'm not going to let 2 dropships just completely change the huge lead I had. Because he had 4 bases at, like, the 12-minute mark.
Yeah.
If you're doing that as Zerg, you're either
Well, it's not
crazy.
just the dropship. The thing is, the Nidus also got picked off.
Yes, it
if
also
the
got
Nidus
picked off.
was there, he would have defended the drop.
Yes, that was the big thing. Was actually just the Nidus getting kicked off. When I was watching the Nidus at the front, I was like, man, that is so far forward. Kind of like Ziky's lurkers were not that far forward. I was like, can't Ultra just run around this? But anyways, minor mistakes that KenZy made that are easily fixable, and I expect KenZy to do a little better. But Ultra, all day long, has looked great, even versus Ziki. I mean, he did lose, but he took bases, he macroed well, he had vessels. It was just a little bit too greedy, those bases that he took on Power Bond.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Power Bond, you just can't do 2 racks on that map. It's not, you gotta play differently. Whether it's like a wall, the thing, even if you wall, like already, if you're walling into 2 racks, that's already better because you can accelerate your build. But a straight up raw 2 racks where he also got a bunker on the low ground, whatever, delayed his command center a bit, I mean, that's not gonna work out on that map. So that's the one thing for Ultra. It looked like on Polypoid he had his style figured out, and Shakura's Temple, it's like even better than Polypoid for Terran. So if I'm KenZy, I'm not feeling good about this map, to be honest with you, going up against Ultra. But at the same time, like you said, KenZy did have a huge lead last game, and or the first game rather, and really he mostly just lost it because of the Nidus being out of position plus the drop. So maybe, you know, if you're in KenZy's shoes, you might think to yourself, okay, I just need to play a bit more solidly. But again, if you're in Ultra's shoes, like after that drop connected, he completely obliterated KenZy, and it's a standard map. So I feel like, I don't know, this could go either way, but honestly, just from watching last game, I'd feel more confident in predicting Ultra here. And the curse has happened.
You've done it. So that means KenZy's going to move on. We don't even have to play the games out now. Gypsy's decided that Ultra's going to be eliminated. Surprisingly enough, I actually agree here, because here's the dilemma for me. Because KenZy had such a strong early game, it's actually just absurd how strong the early game was. Like, Ultra had no answer.
Yes.
But after that happened, Ultra looked untouchable. He was doing everything that you should be doing. He's reinforcing, he's dropping, he's building vessels too. It's not like he missed the beat on the vessels either. So really, it seems like the mid and late game, like if he gets there, he's going to dominate. But also, because KenZy took so much damage to the drop, we don't really know the state of his mid or late game. But actually, I'm a bit worried for KenZy because of how hard he drone versus Tim. I think he's kind of being overly excessively greedy, and I think Ultra will punish him in the mid and late game.
Well, KenZy has like the old school macro Zerg Gosu syndrome. Like this is how literally every macro Zerg player played. Just a bunch of drones, not really hyper aggressive, very, very passive, and then if your opponent isn't solid enough, you just run away with the game.
Yeah, well, Drone Man is very strong, and I know the real Drone Man, and he's also very, very strong at the game.
Well, even Drone Man has that old school Gosu Zerg syndrome.
Well,
you gotta get some of that new school blood in you. You gotta get in there, kill people with Mulists, kill people with Lings, be hyper aggressive. Slam the early timings.
Drone Man can decide when he wants to do that.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't have to just go Drone Man. For those of you that don't know, Drone Man is Discord ID. So, I guess players are not ready right now. So we are waiting for the players. Oh, so are we gonna have a 9-guy episode right now?
Yeah, we are.
Let's hit you with. Okay. Oh, hit me with it.
No, because I don't remember anymore. I had a sick topic. I mean, no, I'm not gonna do this to you.
Well, you are going to be playing in BSL for the first time.
Okay.
So let's hear your thoughts on playing. Maybe do you like your group? You think you got a good shot there?
No. I'm not gonna. No.
You don't need to tell me. You don't need to tell me.
I don't care, man. Dude, you don't care. Dude, you can't. I'm not gonna use my platform here like this. Dude.
How about this?
Unfair to the other players.
You did well in recent tournaments. Are you feeling confident in BSL at least? You feel confident?
Oh, I feel confident.
All right. So you heard it here first. Jib's going the
But I mean,
distance.
you know
He's
what
going all
it,
the way.
you know what it's like. The thing is, like, I don't know. I don't know about you, but like, I'm always nervous for any tournament, right? Like, I feel like I never take it lightly, if that makes sense.
Well,
I could be playing against Artosis, and I would feel like, oh, I might lose.
well, yeah, that's because he's Artosis. He's the GOAT. Anyways, I played in a lot of WCGs, and actually, I had high expectations for myself in initial
We've heard this
WCGs.
one before.
Oh, we have? I mean, you probably have, because I tell you everything,
No,
but I
you said it
forget.
on stream too, but let's hear it.
Well, I got nervous. Then I just stopped caring, and I started doing a lot better. I mean, I don't know what to tell you to turn the switch off. You just have to not care, and then you do much better.
Oh yeah, I know, but
It's hard, though.
yeah, it is.
Actually, in BSL, I won't talk about whether you're a favorite or not a favorite in your group, because that doesn't matter. I'll just do my own experience. When I played in BSL, everybody didn't have expectations for me. So when you can play freely, you play much better. And actually, the players that were expected to win, after the games, I went and watched the replays, and they obviously clearly made a lot of mistakes. It was fortunate for me that I was considered the underdog and not the favorite, because if I was the favorite, you have all these expectations like, oh, he messed up, blah blah. You don't want to mess up. You want to put on your best performance. It's really hard to play from that particular standpoint. So when I see players like Bonnet and DeWalt and them continue to dominate, it's very impressive, because obviously everybody expects them to, like, not just win, but like go 2-0 or 3-0 through their opponents. Well, it looks like.
Well, I mean, we'll see. I don't even know if the players are ready, but
yeah. So we are ready. We're gonna find out who's gonna be the last finalist from Group A. We're gonna have a rematch between KenZy and UltrA coming up. All right, in the bottom right, looking very deadly versus Zerg today, it is UltrA.
We're on the same player. And in the top right, the French Zerg, it is KenZy. Oh man, that was funny. I heard Zero he clicked his mouse really hard. So I'm like, oh, he thinks he switched, but he didn't. I should have just went along with it again. Just been like, yeah, I am in the bottom right. We have UltrA again.
That would have been good. So we've got vertical spawns. Again, did we just see this? I feel like I was talking about vertical spawns earlier.
Yeah, we did. We saw this in the.
Oh, it was in the previous group.
Yes,
group.
SPX versus Julia. Yes. Because we were talking about, you were like, oh, Gypsy, what's the thing about this? And then I was like, well, the natural is facing the Zerg space. Yeah, dude, I feel like our casts are going downhill, man. We're getting the tastosis syndrome here. We're getting too laid back.
Well, it's hard. It is hard to come up with stuff to talk about.
No, it's not just that. We're just so used to BSL too. We're just like.
Well, we do have standard opener from UltrA. No 14cc or anything. KenZy, meanwhile, this is going to be 12 hatch. So everything very normal. He's going to send out a drone at the same time. Go for that scout follow-up. Again, no gas from UltrA as expected. This is Bioman. I've never seen him go for tech play. And we pointed out last time that when he did not scout first, he still put down that command center. It looks like this time he's not going to be, not going to have that misfortune. He is going to first scout KenZy at top right. Meanwhile, KenZy built an additional drone. And I think on Shakuris this is okay because Proxy 8 Rex is not that common.
Did you see that drone? It was like worshipping that little shrine there. It's just like dancing around it.
I did see that.
Yo, what? Well, looks like both players are going to scout first here. And seeing the drone here, I mean, you would expect the second depot to go up. So Ultra playing very nicely. KenZy, 3-hatch yet again. And because Ultra scout, the thing is, last game, or at least on Polypoid, I don't think Ultra got that fast of a scout. Yeah, he actually scouted him last. Remember, he actually just blindly put his command center down.
Yeah.
Well, this time around, he gets the first scout, and he knows this is 3-hatch.
And it's the same build.
So why are we making more? Anyway, it doesn't really matter. This command center is a bit delayed. But now what I really wanted to mention was, is he going to put down a gas and go for the eBay? Doesn't look like it. He's actually cutting an SCV to make a 3rd Marine.
Yeah, he is. So he is, again, going for that. Was it SPX that went for the move out? I think it was, right? So this looks very similar to what SPX did. Meanwhile, 2 Marines are already across the map.
Yeah, but Zerg just makes 4 lings here. We'll see if KenZy overreacts. You know, as a Zerg player in this situation, you should know. Oh, even drones. So far, nice. Okay, the thing is, though, Ultra does see this with the SCV. He needs to have 4 lings here for sure. 2 lings is not going to cut it.
This is really nice from Ultra. I thought for sure this was going to do absolutely nothing, but instead he's going to kill a drone. He's going to kill the lings also?
He saw the move out.
Oh my god, he got 2 drones. He's going to get 3 drones and the ling, and now he's just going to leave. He's like, yeah, I'm out of here. Well, yeah. This is a lot of damage for a note. And he gets away. You know why he gets away? Because KenZy was building an Overlord that entire time. He was blocked. He couldn't even build lings.
That's so weird because KenZy saw that move out with the
he did.
Overlord. So like, and the thing is, you just need to make 4 lings. There's no time. There's nothing Terran can do against 4 lings at that particular timing. So really, that was a huge blunder from KenZy. Absolutely huge blunder. He lost so many drones, and on top of that, he still made those 4 lings.
Well, you never actually think that Terran's going to commit with 2 Marines, because what is that actually supposed to do? Like, if you even combo 2 Marines with an SCV hit, right? That's 17 damage.
But the problem is, the SCV is in your main.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, like, you don't actually expect the Marines to even move that far across the map, because he could have built 2 lings at his natural. That's what a lot of Zerg players do, in fact, versus me on the ladders. They build 2 lings at the nat, and then build 6 lings in the main, and I'm thinking like, oh, it's only 6 lings, and all of a sudden 8 show up. I'm like, oh, how did you get those extra 2 lings? So I mean, yeah, this
was so greedy, by the way. Like, he actually went for that push out into the eBay.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, he's getting away with murder, and he's getting rewarded for it. Now KenZy obviously has the power really hard. I actually would have loved to see Ultra have gone for an Academy follow-up, because he would have forced Sunkens out versus a player he already killed 3 drones versus.
I mean, yeah, but to be fair, it doesn't really matter what he does.
No, it doesn't.
Well, you're right though, Dan, because this eBay is not as fast as it could be, and the power behind the eBay first is just how quickly you can get that +1. But you know why? It's not just the +1 that's important, it's the +1 armor. That's the most important timing for this build, actually, because that's when you hit that critical mass, 3 groups of Marines, and if you manage it well, even if Zerg has lurkers out, they maybe have 1 or 2 lurkers out, and you have +1 armor, so you can bust that. So that's what's really strong, actually, about eBay first builds. And when you delay the eBay significantly, like Ultra did in this game, it just kind of loses its potential. That being said, I mean, it doesn't really, like I said, it doesn't matter what he does. Killing that many drones with the first, what was it? It was just 2 Marines too, man. Like, that shouldn't happen.
Well, actually, I don't think his +1 weapon is that delayed. We'll have to see. Normal timing is 7 minutes for +1. Meanwhile, okay, that is a full stem on all those Marines. There's no Sunken, so he might actually just get through. Are we really just going to watch him plow through 2 Sunkens and take this game? KenZy powering way too hard, gets caught. All the lings are going to fall. Seconds, he just taps out instantly. Wow, that is a disappointing finish for KenZy after looking so good in the first game versus Ultra. Just dies to something so simple.
I'm telling you, man, the Shakura's rush distances are quite small.
Well, I can see that now, and it's no shocker to me now that Terran has a high win rate there. I'm sure a lot of games just instantly go over to Terran with a simple move out like that. And unfortunately, one of the strongest Zerg players that we've seen is just gonna fall instantly. And UltrA does what he does every single season. He's gonna make it into the round of 16. And this time, his TVZ really does look like it's on point. I actually hope that in the group draws that are coming up, I hope that he gets like at least 2 Zergs in his group, because it will be, you know, all the Zergs that are going to get through now are going to be super strong, like Sziky, Eon Zerg, True Touch. It would be nice to actually see him face off again versus Sziky, or face off again versus Eon Zerg, because I think he could actually win those particular games.
Yeah, it's a good tournament for... I mean, this BSL, we actually have very few Protoss players. It's mostly Terran and Zerg, surprisingly.
I saw that. There's like 3 Protoss.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So if you have a good versus Zerg matchup, that's going to really help you. And if you have a good versus Terran matchup, that's going to help you. And it seems like UltrA has both of those. So UltrA is looking sick this season. Can't really deny it. Like, last game was kind of lackluster, though, from KenZy, but it does happen, especially in a tournament setting. Just needed those 4 lings, man. Just 4 lings. You're fine there. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. UltrA is going to make it through. So, today, let's recap it, Dan. We just saw Sziky and UltrA advance. And then, in the early group,
in Group E, we saw Kogut and Oxzerg make it through, right?
Yeah.
Oxzerg looked pretty damn good. Kogut, of course, always looks very good. Oxzerg, I think, got a little creative with Hatch Muta. But I like that. I like when people throw in stuff that's unorthodox. I've actually faced one Hatch Muta on the ladder. It is surprisingly strong if you get caught off guard, because you're like, whoa, what? Why do you have mutas already? And then you're like, well, you don't have any econ. But the muta count just gets so big so fast, and it hits before everything. Like, you don't have even stim. Sometimes you don't even have turrets. So the idea is pretty nice, but unfortunately,
the thing is, 2-port Wraith is literally the best build against clown Zerg builds.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing, is that you literally played the build versus the only guy that goes Wraiths.
Yeah.
And that was a mistake. I think if it was SPX, he would have had much better time.
Yeah,
not Kogut.
Yeah. Maybe it was meant to counter some kind of like one factory expand into Goliath or something like that. There's no. Maybe he thought it was gonna be good versus 2. Anyway, that was probably the highlight game, because honestly, that was pretty enjoyable to see October Zerg whip out the special.
Whip it out.
Yeah.
Well, that is going to wrap us up for Group E and Group A today. I actually have to check, what is the next group going to be tomorrow? Oh, it's going to be C and D tomorrow, so make sure you tune in there. We're going to have the big Jip on the final day on Sunday, so he'll be playing that, and I will be co-casting with somebody special. But again, thank you guys so much for supporting the BSL. Let's run down through our Patreon supporters. We have Star Lover at the $100 level, and then Grail, Striker, and Sony at the Colonel level, Bombastic Major, Tupacalypse, Gruglog, and Scott Walfield. And at the $20 level, we have Cuz, X Civil War, X Christian Eddington, Mad Cats Fury Road, Martin Harsmar, LML Lingen Pump, and all you other Patreon supporters. Thank you so much for supporting the BSL. And of course, we want to thank Esports Fun for supporting the BSL. Again, Esports Fun, a major sponsor of the BSL for the past few seasons. Thank you so much. They do so much. And I know that RCG is coming up, so that will be exciting. And I look forward to seeing a bunch of our current BSL participants participating in that.
Yeah, there's also the shop, guys. I mean, get that.
How can we forget?
Yeah, well, I never forget, because I'm always willing to talk about the bombastic underwear, bombastic, and the what's it called? The socks.
Yeah, the socks. You got to get them for your office, man. You can't flaunt much stuff in the office, but you can.
And the
flaunt
mug
socks.
too.
The mug actually, I think, looks the best out of everything. I like the white bombastic one.
Yeah. I mean, they just
right there,
amazing.
Right there.
I want a polo, man. I keep saying that. Maybe I'll order one.
I mean, they're great. I actually, I
We
wear
should
my
get-
BSL. Huh?
Yeah. No, go
I
ahead.
wear my BSL sweatshirt almost every day.
I'm sure you do.
Generally.
Also, check out the YouTube, guys. It is ZZZero, ZZZero at YouTube, where all the BSL VODs get uploaded to. So if you guys want to watch the VODs or link the games to anyone, it's that. And yeah, last but not least, of course, BSL is funded by the community. So PSA, of course, right here. BSL 13 stretch mark. Now, this is first day, so we still got a lot of time. But BSL 12 and BSL 11 have been 100% funded by the community. And it's been incredible, obviously. So just a reminder, obviously, that we would not be here without you guys. So thank you. But also, if you want to see more BSL in the future, we would kindly appreciate the support.
Yeah, so definitely consider making a donation, or you don't have to donate. You could become a sub or become a Patreon.
Yeah.
You can also do it like that. I am looking at Group C and D because, I know who's in your group, but I was wondering, okay, who's in Group C and D? And actually,
Those are the
insane
groups
group.
of debt.
Yes, actually just nuts groups. DeWalt, Jayun, Crossy, Gorinich in Group C.
Yeah.
Eon Zerg, Red Duck, Hawk, and Dandy in Group D. Absolutely bonker groups coming up, and that's going to be tomorrow. So make sure you definitely tune into that. We're going to see if anybody can make an upset versus DeWalt, and then actually we have another Gosu Leaguer coming at us. It's going to be Red Duck in Group D, and well,
No. Red.
oh, Red.
Who? Oh, so
Kami Zerg.
yeah. So Red Duck dropped out, and Kame Zerg is gonna replace him. I was gonna say, Dan, Red Duck's not from Gosu League. He qualified through the ladder.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. The Gosu League players are
Hit him up.
Yeah, hit him. No, he
No,
qualified through the
that's-
ladder. But...
Am I crazy? Julia, Tim, Jayun,
and P-Tac.
and Patak.
Yes.
All right, I'm losing my mind.
Anyway,
so
so
actually, yeah.
Well, anyway, tomorrow, okay, Group C and D, 6 games. You guys won't want to miss it. We'll be back here at 6:30 Central European Time. That's 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific. Same time as usual. But for now, that's it. I'm Nye. He's Guy.
Bye.